been 1 week since Donald Trump announced his bold vision for destroying the economy, and guess what? His plan is working.
After another chaotic day on Wall Street, America's CEOs are sounding the alarm.
Most CEOs I talk to would say we are probably in a recession right now.
A new CNBC survey showing those concerns are widespread, with 69% of CEOs expecting a recession and 82% expecting resurgent inflation.
This is a snapshot of the Dow since President Trump's inauguration, after dropping more than 15% since its record high, putting it into correction territory.
I'm not an economist, but it's probably a bad sign when the chart itself looks like it jumped off the roof. Look at that drop. Six Flags is going to make a roller coaster of that. Mom, I want to ride the Dow Jones. We can't afford it. So the economy is incredibly unstable right now. The only upside is that this crash is much easier to understand than the 2008 one. Remember The Big Short, where they had to have Margot Robbie explain it in a bathtub? Here's how that would go today.
Trump did it.
Thanks, Margot. Thank you. So the president may have single-handedly tipped us into a global recession. And with so much uncertainty, the world is glued to the financial news networks, who are surely focusing on this story 24/7. Right, Fox Business?
The president welcomes the World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers, to the White House. He was funny. He was entertaining.
Yes, that's definitely the big story. The president made new friends today. So yes, economists are afraid that we're headed into a recession, but don't worry, things could still improve quickly as long as Trump de-escalates soon.
President Trump escalates his trade war with more threats against China.
President Trump is now promising a new 50% tariff on China, on top of the other new tariffs, which are on top of existing tariffs. Combined, this would make U.S. tariffs on imports from China a whopping 104%.
104% tariffs? Okay, this is getting really serious. We'll know exactly how serious once we ask China to do the math for us, but point is, Trump is out of control right now. I'd say he's like a bull in a china shop, but at 104%, I can't afford to say that. It's really starting to feel like the entire world is teetering on the brink of chaos. It's honestly impossible to report on literally anything else right now, right, Fox News?
A women's pool championship in the UK with no women in the final round after two transgender players defeated their female opponents to face off for the title.
No, not the British women's pool tournament. That's America's favorite pastime. But the tariffs aren't just tearing apart our economy and tearing apart America's trade with China. They're also tearing apart Donald Trump's friends.
An internal battle over Trump's tariffs between top advisor Peter Navarro and Elon Musk.
This is a behind-the-scenes rivalry that's now exploding into public view between Elon Musk and Peter Navarro, two very different wings of the Trump administration.
Ooh, I have to pick between Elon Musk and Peter Navarro? This is like the trolley problem, if the problem was that you only have one trolley. But you know what? This is actually a substantive debate. Elon likes free trade. Peter Navarro likes the tariffs. Let's start with Navarro's argument.
Elon's a car manufacturer, but he's not a car manufacturer. He's a car assembler. If you go to his Texas plant, a good part of the engines that he gets, which in the EV case is the batteries, come from Japan and come from China. The electronics come from Taiwan. And he wants the cheap foreign parts, and we understand that. But we want him home.
Okay, that's a compelling point. Peter Navarro thinks Musk is taking advantage of unfair trade policies at the risk of American prosperity. Elon, what's your response?
Musk calling him a moron and dumber than a sack of bricks.
And there's the latest, calling him Peter Retardo.
Powerful counterpoint. Powerful. God, I hope Elon Musk never has to defend himself in court. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, gay! I rest my case. Getting this glimpse into Trump's team of dumb rivals is even more disturbing. The president is sending the economy off a cliff. Business leaders are furious with him. His team is tearing each other apart, and the two biggest economies on the planet are entering a trade war. It might be time for the news organizations that supported him to come to terms with why they supported him in the first place. What do you say, Newsmax?
This is a remarkable moment that has come to light all over again. Back in 1992, Donald Trump threw a football through a hole designed for one football. Is that amazing or what?
Put me down for or what? Tariff Day wasn't just celebrated here in America. Other countries got in on the fun, too.
Swift retaliation. Both China and the European Union are responding to President Trump's tariffs. China has announced its own retaliatory tariffs, 84% on all U.S. goods it imports.
According to the European Union, almonds, orange juice, poultry, soybeans, steel and aluminum products, tobacco and yachts imported from the United States now will have a 25% levy on them.
25% on yachts? Why do these trade wars always have to screw over the little guy? I'll be honest, I didn't even know America made yachts. I thought the only thing we made here was Nepo babies. But this really feels like it's spiraling out of control. It seems like the smart move is to back off this whole thing. But Trump's team has been adamant that they will stay the course.
This is not a negotiation.
It's not the kind of thing you can negotiate away.
I don't think there's any chance that President Trump's going to back off his tariffs.
The president made it clear yesterday this is not a negotiation.
Trump posted this morning, my policies will never change.
Well, that's it then. They're in it to win it. Full speed ahead. From the window to the walls. Skeet, 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 motherfuckers. Trump's policy will never, ever change.
This is CNN breaking news.
The president announcing just minutes ago that he's now, quote, authorized a 90-day pause on some of his new tariffs.
What? The trade war's over? But it's Tariff Day. I shaved my legs for this. Now I have to grow it all back. But hey, at least we can buy things from China again, right? I mean, Amazon Prime, here I come.
Notably, though, the president is raising the tariff applied to China from the United States to 125% effective immediately. So this pause applies to other countries, not China.
Hey, Siri, cancel 1,000 air fryers. Trump, I don't understand what happened here. You tanked global stock markets. You put us on the verge of a recession. You told everyone to build factories in America because the tariffs wouldn't go away. And then you took them away. What happened? Did you just get spooked by the markets?
The 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs, is that because of the whiplash that we've been seeing across the financial markets?
No, this was his strategy all along.
An absolutely brilliant move.
Brilliant, not only economically, politically, and it was good for the American worker.
He's negotiator in chief. He's landing the plane. It's the master of the deal.
I mean, you're watching the art of the deal in real time here.
Many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal.
Yes, the art of the deal. Create a global crisis and then dig yourself halfway out. It's truly masterful, Donald. I'm starting to think that the art of the deal is art in the way that Jackson Pollock is art. Like, it looks like someone just threw a bunch of shit at the wall, but now I have to pretend like it's genius and it's going to cost millions of dollars. Come at me, abstract expressionism hive. You know I'm right. Come on, Trump, just admit that you started a game of chicken and you got too scared to finish it.
Well, I thought that people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, you know? They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid.
Oh. Okay, it's our fault. We got too scared. Sorry. I tend to get a little yippy when my retirement plan starts to look like the elevator from The Shining. In heavy flow. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be dramatic, but this is the worst tariff day ever. This whole trade war was launched on incoherent arguments. You stuck to your guns for incoherent reasons, and now you're pulling back for incoherent reasons. Is there anything you can say that actually makes sense?
No other president would have done what I did. No other president.
Well, you got me there.
It's been 2 weeks since Liberation Day, and we're in a full-blown trade war with China, with tariffs now at 145%, which means the trade war has officially moved from shower to grower. And some people are concerned about this trade war because they want the economy to be good or something. But you know what? Trump is not stressing about it.
Yesterday, the White House press secretary reading a statement she said President Trump dictated.
China needs to make a deal with us. We don't have to make a deal with them. There's no difference between China and any other country, except they are much larger.
Yeah, that's kind of a big difference, though. It's like saying, why should I be scared to fight The Rock? He's just like any other person, except much larger. Yeah, that's the scary part. But I guess Trump's people must be confident that they can push China around because they're not just throwing around tariffs, they're throwing some shade.
Vice President J.D. Vance is caught in a firestorm of his own making, calling the Chinese peasants.
To make it a little bit more crystal clear, we borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture. That is not a recipe for economic prosperity.
Oh, shit! He's really calling Chinese people peasants. Nobody likes to be called a peasant. Even legit peasants are like, actually, I consider myself more of an agricultural entrepreneur. But yeah, J.D. Vance called the Chinese peasants a couple weeks ago, and now that the news finally got to their villages by donkey cart, they are pissed.
Tonight we are seeing China trading insults with the Vice President J.D. Vance in the latest knock against President Trump's trade war.
让美国那些乡巴佬们在中华民族5000年文明面前哀鸣吧。
That went so hard. Oh no, are we the Drake in this beef? Are we the certified peasants? At the same time, though, saying your 5,000-year-old civilization doesn't intimidate Americans because half the people here don't even think the Earth is that old. Also, let's just be real, okay? There's no way Americans are the peasants here. Do peasants have medical debt? Didn't think so. Checkmate, China. But it's not just Chinese officials who are mad. China has extremely online losers just like our peasants, and they're mad too.
On China's tightly controlled internet, government censors are allowing Vance's interview to go viral, amplifying the outrage, igniting anger and sarcasm. Look, this is their true face, arrogant and rude as always. We may be peasants, but we have the world's best high-speed rail, the most powerful logistics, and leading AI and drone technologies. Aren't such peasants quite impressive? One hashtag about the Chinese peasants remark shot to the top of China's Twitter-like platform Weibo.
Whoa. Wait, is that Michael Costa? How did the third whitest host of The Daily Show go viral in China before the Asian one? That's f***ed up. That's the same triangle and everything. Wait, is China watching this? Oh, okay. Well, hey, thanks for watching this. Hi, 中国的朋友们，我不相信我现在说的话，我只是在诈 Paramount 的钱，感谢你们盗用这个视频。I was just talking tough to China. But words are not China's only weapon in this trade war. They're also using, trade.
China's retaliation now includes suspending exports of rare earth minerals and magnets to the United States. Those materials are essential to a number of American industries, including car makers, aerospace manufacturers, and semiconductor producers.
China produces 90% of the world's rare earth minerals.
Okay, so rare earth metals are critical. Well, maybe we should have thought that before we launched a trade war against a country that had them all. I mean, where are we going to get our gadolinium now, huh? We're going to buy Congolese gadolinium? That shit's mid. What else are they hitting us with?
China has reportedly told Chinese airlines to stop buying parts from American companies, and it says it will no longer accept deliveries of Boeing jets.
Oh, come on, you're not going to accept our Boeing jets? Well, good luck finding another plane with self-crashing technology. Is there anything else?
China could strike back in other ways, like urging Chinese students to study elsewhere, telling travel agents to steer tour groups away from U.S. cities.
Oh no, if Chinese students stop coming to the U.S., who are Americans going to lose their spots to? Indians? Yeah, that'll work, yeah, actually, yes. But look, Americans have to stay strong, okay? I don't want to hear any whining. Oh no, China's not buying our Made in America products. Well, suck it up, patriots. Certain industries are just going to have to suffer, and that's how it is, because this is war.
China announced they're restricting imports of Hollywood movies to their country.
Okay, that. This war has gone too far. Some of our finest, most likable Chinese Malaysian actors have built a career in Asian-themed movies that depend on the Chinese market, all right? It's called Crazy Rich Asians, not crazy just getting by Asians. And don't forget, this affects you too, China. If you ban American movies, how will you ever find out the ending to all these remakes of movies from decades ago? But as drastic as some of these trade policies are, they're nothing compared to the awesome power of Chinese propaganda. And luckily for China, we all have a Chinese propaganda app on our phones.
They're the videos seen by millions of Americans. TikTokers claiming to work at Chinese factories that make high-end products and offering to sell them directly to Americans for much, much cheaper.
Products like Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton.
Do you like this bag or this? $2, $2, $2, $2, all in $2.
Yeah, good news, honey. I am getting you that Gucci bag for your birthday. But forget about the designer products, because these TikToks aren't just offering cheap Chanel bags. They're offering cheap everything.
Do you want to buy laundry pots? Do you want laundry capsule? Do you want laundry beads? One pot costs only 5 cents.
Just ship customer-scented candles to US for only $2.
Do you need a house? We can build it for you in just 48 hours. Place an order, and we will deliver it to a country.
Good news, honey. I am getting you that prefabricated house for Memorial Day.
And there's nothing the world respects more than a good old-fashioned trade war. So now that we're a few weeks into it, let's see how that's going over with the rest of the world, starting with China.
So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care.
Ooh, damn. I didn't know China also manufactured catty bitches. Ooh, I get it. Understandably, they're angry at us. But the important thing is that they respect us.
A viral AI-generated video is making fun of U.S.-China trade relations as tensions escalate.
Trump and Elon Musk and J.D. Vance making Nike sneakers. There are also viral videos of Trump sitting behind a sewing machine in a factory. All of this rife on Chinese social media.
Wow. This is scary. I did not think AI had the power to show Donald Trump doing skilled labor. But, okay, who cares if China doesn't respect us? They're only like a quarter of the people on Earth. That's not even half. I mean, I'm sure the rest of the world is bowing down to the U.S. What about you, France? Voulez-vous coucher respect-moi? C'est moi?
In France, Emmanuel Macron called the tariffs brutal and unfounded.
A town in France has replaced Coca-Cola with apple juice at municipal events.
A boycott of Coca-Cola.
We need to punish Mr. Trump a little bit.
They will content themselves with the Statue of Liberty on the Quai de Seine in Paris. These French people will not set foot in the United States as long as Donald Trump is in power.
I don't want to, although I love America and I've been before, but this time, that's a no.
Hold on. France had a second Statue of Liberty on the side this whole time? That's the most French thing I've ever heard. But fine. Fine. The French are hard to please. What about other, more easygoing European nations, like Italy, for example? Maybe they're showing respect to American officials.
I think Musk should be placed under a mandatory psychiatric hold. This guy has 13 to 15 children around the world. He's a junkie, a nutcase. Come on.
Hey. You can't talk about Musk like that. You're not one of his kids. Although, statistically, you might be. Wait, am I? Who cares what Europe thinks with their delicious foods and generous paid parental leave? Sometimes it's your closest friends and neighbors that see the best in you, like our syrup sommeliers in Canada. Sure, we put an economically crippling tariff on them, but we're still friends, right? Give us some of that friendly respect you're known for.
In a country known for its politeness, this morning, growing outrage. Many of them now boycotting American goods and travel here.
This is my last bag of American product.
Social media erupting with calls to buy Canadian and boycott USA. So you can buy America and you can buy Canadian.
Love that.
Right?
Need to flag for that.
You've even got Canadian morning shows being mean to us? Keep in mind, the rest of that show is just the co-host apologizing that the weather isn't nicer. Guys, we even lost Canada. Is there anyone in the world that still respects us?
These are not actions one does to a friend.
Totally unnecessary and stupid.
The madness of a mentally ill man.
The biggest assault we have seen since the end of the Second World War.
The mess they use is dumb mess.
They've been calculated in a way that makes back of the envelope Crayola crayon scrawlings look like the work of Isaac Newton.
That felt like going through It's a Small World, but all those puppet children are telling us to f right off. So there you have it. Donald Trump promised we'd be respected like never before, and technically we have reached never-before-seen levels of respect. So that's why this week I'm ranking America's respectedness at stepmom, who insists we call her mom, but we're still gonna call her Joyce. Better luck next round, America.